Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins, and Trevor.
A happy life. There could be ramifications a bit later if after the birth, we know people can change their opinions, and it may be that the parents, after a couple of years, especially if these are neighbours and they would see the child developing, they could change their mind and they might want to have that child and say that what they did and agreed was under duress for the other child. Another thing is, of course, there may not be a bone marrow match. Possibly it won't be, so that in a sense would have been wasted. But as I say, there's always the risk, I think, that the parents would have a natural, instinctive connection with that new child. And of course, if the child, as it grew up, was told, for example, that we're not your real parents, this is what happened, these things do come out, I think, surprisingly often for various reasons, then that could devastate the child who's growing up to know they were only produced, if you like, because they wanted to harvest its bone marrow. And that could be a lot of damage to the child. But so again, as with these things, there may not be one answer. Almost anything you say you'll do could be viewed one way or the other, I guess. But yeah, I guess people are faced with this because siblings do produce bone marrow stuff. Okay, so that's our portion of ethical dilemmas. Now let's start on this thing we call love. Now I've got a few sort of questions.
I love love. I'm not sure love loves me, but I know I love love.
You know you love love. Well, the first one is it? Do you think? And I know you're a man of principle. You have, as you've already demonstrated, you have a good sense of values, and so on. Do you think it's possible to fall in love with somebody who doesn't share your values?
This is a tricky one, actually, because once the heart is involved, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard. It's not as easy as people might say, or people might want to advise you to say, oh yeah, you shouldn't do that, maybe, and they say opposites attract, don't it? So but if somebody doesn't, if somebody's value doesn't sort of tally with mine, I would really struggle. I would be looking for more than the usual justification for getting in, being in union with this person. So I would really be scrutinizing everything that this person does, which isn't fair on the other person. So I would say no. I would say a straight no. If the values don't conform with mine, I'll leave it. I'll just say, I don't, because at the end of the day, you are going to be in union with this person, as in marriage or whatever, civil union, civil whatever, and it would always conflict. There would always be a steady conflict on what you want to do, what she wants to do, and how she views this and how you view that. It's just too much headache. I mean, I would do it when I was younger, because you don't really take into account these things when you're younger. You just think, but now I don't think so. I wouldn't.
No, and I think in a way the big dilemma, possibly for you and for many people, if we're talking of values, what values? But let's say somebody is of a Christian outlook, a believing outlook in any religion, actually, Jewish and all the others. If one is a believer and the other one is an atheist, completely disagrees with any belief about that might be where the problem could lie. And I think the question was, is it possible to fall in love with, or can you fall in love with somebody who has different values? Well, of course, as I think you touched on when you said about the heart, in a way, we get no choice, do we? I mean, we could say, is love real? Is it a feeling, or is it a chemical change? Something, some people call it an affliction, where when people fall in love, it's almost like some sort of an illness, because you undergo a lot of kind of almost bodily changes and mental changes. You know, it's almost like you lose your appetite, or other things, you don't sleep properly. So it's kind of almost hormonal changes in the body, and we don't really get a lot of choice. So if we find we've fallen for somebody who is significantly outside of our own general values.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.